I was gonna give you my inheritance. You know, I put you on my will already. You know, all you had to do was last 3 more. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, I can't even last a minute. Dang. How many times do I have to tell you, old man? Turn me back. Should I introduce it?
Storyteller!
I know you guys like the voices. I found something chill to play. I don't know anything about the game, so I just know it's about stories or making stories, so.
Storyteller, a book about building stories.
Okay, like I said.
Storyteller.
Okay.
At the end of this book lies a crown. It is bestowed only to the finest storytellers of the realm.
Yes, sir!
Every page is empty, save for a title. It is your duty to fill these pages with the most captivating tales.
Yes, sir.
Complete this book and prove yourself
worthy of the title of the Storyteller. This is gonna be amazing!
Life and death.
Oh my goodness.
Chapter 1, Love.
All right.
Adam starts alone, finds
Adam and Eve?
love,
Old
and
Testament?
dies happy.
Oh, okay, so I'm going based off that. Okay, Adam starts alone, finds love, and dies happy. So Adam, put him right here. Hold on. Adam, then Eve, finds love, then he dies happy. All right, that's it. No, hold on, I want to redo that in my own way.
Adam starts alone, finds
Okay, that's it. Okay, never mind, y'all. I'm gonna just go by the book. Heartbreak.
Eve dies heartbroken.
Oh, this is the tutorial. Death right here. Put Eve's face right here. I already did that. So Adam, Eve, and then. Oh, snap. Hold on. Eve dies heartbroken. Hold on, y'all. I am not slow. Oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Oh, spicy. Because I was kind of confused. I was like, hold on. Eve dies heartbroken. Okay, hold on. Why would she die heartbroken? Because Adam died, then Eve died. Come on, y'all. Use your noggin. Use your noggin.
Heartbreak. Afterlife.
Seeing
Heaven.
the ghost of a lover.
Seeing the ghost of a lover. All right, so let's say, oh my bad. Love first, Adam, Eve, love, then seeing the death of Adam, right? And then maybe Adam's like here now. Ooh, Eve, then Adam. Ooh, I'm nice with it. All right.
Miracle.
Heartbreak with a happy ending.
Heartbreak with a happy ending. Revive at the end, I guess. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I already see the vision. I see the vision. Adam's death too. And then they're both right here. What the freak? Why are you confused, bro? I'm trying to figure it out myself. Bro, wouldn't the happy ending be them both reuniting with each other in heaven? Let's make this make sense. Bam, they're both dead. They never fell in love. Freak. They fall in love. Hey, yeah. All right, so that's chapter 1. I can flip the page.
The ceremony.
The ceremony.
Okay, so what about it? What about the ceremony, bro?
This world shall know pain.
Here we go.
Rejected by own spouse.
Okay, so they get married, right? She pops in, and he's like, yo, you ain't my girl, right? And she's like, man, freak you then. I'm about to see the Wicked Witch of the West, you feel me? And then she goes in the freaking, you know what I'm saying? The freaking swamp, right? With Shrek and them. And then she hits, she hits him with the amnesia. Bam! She came back with some black magic, right? Or in her case, the freaking pink magic, right? And then she's like, hold on, I'm here now. Dang it. Okay, hold on. It has something to do with this right here. Be patient with me. Listen. I know some of y'all looking at me crazy like, Claudia's right there. I'm like, hold on. Hold on. Maybe the memory wipe is right here. And then They get married instead. And then she shows up to the wedding like, yo, that definitely didn't take me 8 minutes.
Everyone rejects Edgar.
Let's do this. Everyone dies on him. You don't even know them? Maybe he's a third wheel. Everyone's getting married but him.
Damn.
She dies on him, right? And this man gets remarried. And then she dies on him. Hold on, Edgar gets rejected by everyone.
Damn.
Maybe I need to get somebody mad. Maybe this is a messy game. They're married, right? And this man's jealous, right, of their marriage because, dang, I don't got no girl, man. Yeah, when you should have been me, right? And he gets rejected by her, and then, you know, he pulls up on him. He's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Can I, you know what I'm saying? Can I, a two man? No, nah, bro, this is my girl. You can't have that, you feel me, bro? No sharing, you know, you saying sharing is caring, but I ain't sharing this. Bro, he got rejected by everybody, bro. This doesn't count as a rejection? And then boom, they're a couple. Actually, I don't even like that, bro, because we already started off. We ain't sharing wives over here, bro. Edgar pulls up and he's like, bro, I want your girl, right? And he like, man, freak out of here, bro. Hey, no, you ain't taking that. And then boom, he does the same thing to Isabel, but he's like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? He's that friend that's talking about like, bro, you can leave him, bro. Like this, bro, Pete. There's some messy people out here. Gotta watch the company you keep, right? And this man, like Edgar he's a snake, bro. He's just a snake hidden in the grass, bro. This man's a friend, right? And he's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? He be doing this, he be doing that, you feel me, bro? You can do so much better, right? This is the friend, right, bro? He be going to the club, you know what I'm saying? You know what type of club he go? You know he like to drink. Yeah, I know he like to drink. You know he like to drink. And hey, man, he and I hit something when he started drinking. You know what I'm saying? And then boom. He was like, man, you talking about I respect my man. I know he ain't. Whoa. My mom is in the other room.
Damn.
And she was like, man, nah, I trust him. Boom, you know what I'm saying? We gotta think, man, nah, you can't come in here talking about raw. We communicate over here, you feel me? Let me take that mess over there, right? And he's like, dang, bro, couldn't get in that. So boom, your man's dead now. So dang, you gotta get with somebody. My mom gave me a burger. All right, now that I have my burger, right, I can think clearly. I got it. Maybe Isabel dies. And Bernard's like, dang, that's my girl. That's my first. And then Bernard gets remarried. And then Edgar's like, bro, I need a girl, bro. Boom, heartbreak. Bro, it was that simple. All I needed was a burger. See, Edgar, even I got me a girl, you feel me? See, I need to slow down. Old heartbroken dog dies happy. Boy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to crash out. That made me mad. I'll break down the poison one.
Lenora drinks poison.
Okay, here we go. This is gonna be that was getting on my boy. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not a crash out, but I was about to crash out. Ooh, maybe she drinks it because her man dies. What the freak you doing over there? Bam. That's tragic.
Double poison.
All right, so he needs a reason to drink the poison. He dies, right? And she's like, you know what? I'm about to drink. What's that stuff y'all be drinking? Lean? Boom, she goes ahead and drinks the lean, right? But he gets revived, right? And then he sees that she's dead. And then he drinks it himself. Yo, I think it was just the dog one that was confusing me, bro. I got this in a bag.
Isabel is haunted by her husband.
Isabel is haunted by her husband. So wedding fight poison wine. They're not married in my book, but hey. This needs to be pushed back like a hairline, a professional pushback. And then boom, she gets haunted. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm about to break this down because I want to make this make sense in my head. They're married, right? They're happily married couple and whatnot, right? This man, you know, having them a little whiskey, you know what I'm saying? It's like 8 a.m., you feel me? I don't know nothing about drinking, so I'm just making things up. But bam, He's drinking, right? She's mad, like, you always drinking, you know, we said we had plans, you know, we say we gonna do this, we gonna do that, and you already drinking, yeah. And then he hits her with the famous line, are you done? And she's like, what? And then he was like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. And then he leaves, gets drunk again. And she says, you know what? Since he going drinking anyway, I'm about to pour something in his drink. And bam, she does it. And then he says, you know what? I'm about to come back and clap them cheeks. Physically, spiritually, and mentally.
Murder of jealousy.
Murder of jealousy. Okay, murder of jealousy. So we got wedding, poison, wine, Edgar, Lenora, Isabel. So maybe they're married. Off rip, they're married. Yeah, maybe this man goes drinking and she's just jealous and says, you know what? I'm about to poison this man. You want to poison her? Oh, that's right. My bad. She gets drunk. Oh, wow. I didn't even need. Okay, let me make it make sense to y'all. All right, Pete. So bam, we got you know, the married couple right here. You know, high school sweetheart. She's like, yo, you're supposed to be mine. I know dang well you didn't marry my best friend. He's like, girl, I told you already. I liked you first, but you were playing too much. You feel me? I ain't dealing. Look, sassy can only get you too far. At the beginning, you were spicy, but now you bland. Get out my face. You know what? Freak her then. I don't need my best friend in the first place. Pours that stuff in her drink. Bow. Bodies. All right.
Which becomes the mirror's favorite?
All right. So which becomes the mirror's favorite? So let's say this is the witch, right? And let's say she meets Snow. Oh, this is Snow White in the. Okay, I get it. I'm gonna tell you right now. Snow White got issues. You feel me? Because what you doing in the woods with how many gnomes? The witch is already talking to the mirror. Oh, yeah. Which becomes the mirror's favorite. So bam, she's like, yo, nah, you gonna be mine, mirror. You gonna listen to me. Snow White's in the dang woods and she meets her. Like she hates her. She hates her because the mirror only wants to talk to Snow. So she meets her in the woods trying to do that face-to-face confrontation. I heard what you talking about on Twitter and Instagram. What you gotta do with face-to-face? And then she's like, okay, hold on. I think, you know, she reaching in that back pocket for that nine. She's like, hold on. I don't think I can throw hands with her. She packing. So she says, you know what? I'm gonna go back in the laboratory. She cooking up. She goes to the mirror one more time. Look, listen, mirror, I'm gonna give you one more freaking chance to be mine, or I'm gonna have to go back in this woods and show her who's boss, right? Mirror says, man, frick you talking about, bro? And then boom, she goes back in the woods, meets this little girl, pow, turns her into a frog, right? And then boom, who you gonna love now? The frog? Damn. And then she goes to the mirror. Y'all, this don't make no sense. Look, he likes Snow. She's mad. She meets Snow in the woods. Snow packing. So she says, hold on, I need to get that stuff. Boom, she gets that stuff, turns her into a frog, hits her with a whole Ginyu. Then she goes back in the laboratory, takes it herself. She goes back to the mirror. Oh, I already solved it. Because she's dead, he doesn't have no one else to love, so he's picking seconds. So does he really love you? Or are you just a rebound? I'll stop.
Curse is lifted.
Curse is lifted. Maybe she's in the woods by herself. And then she... Damn. Oh my God. I didn't even mean to do that. Yo, you didn't have to do... That's rude as a mug, bro. That's rude as a mug. Boom, they meet in the woods and she's feeling him. But obviously he's not feeling her, and he's like saying what he can to get past her. But she's like, you know, no, hold on. Your mother said you do like older women. He's like, to an extent. You know what? Let's go out on a date, right? And then boom, they go out on a date, and he's like, heck no, enough is enough. Listen, I just wanted the money. You feel me? I just wanted the connections, not this type of connection. And then she was like, man, you gonna do me like that? Do you like what? Do you do me like this? You know dang well we had something to go.
No, we didn't have a thing going. I just wanted your money. I told you from the beginning, I didn't want it. And she was like, no, but we had something going for ourselves.
I told you I was gonna live 3 more years and I was gonna give you my inheritance. You know, I put you on my will already. You know, all you had to do was last 3 more, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, I can't even last a minute. I gotta go, right? And then she said, you know what? Who's that girl you be hanging out with? Like every single time I had to go to the nursery home to see my dang friends, I see, you know what? Because look, I have an army dude that's also in the nursing home with me, and he comes home. Well, he doesn't come home, but he comes back to the dang nursing home, and he says, "Hey, ain't that the dude you with?" And she's like, "How you know about that?" He's like, "No, hold on, ain't that the dude over there?" And he was like, "What you mean? Look at these pictures." Start passing out the pictures at bingo night and whatnot. That's her dude, fellas. And then she mad. She's like, "You know what? Okay. I know who you hanging out with. I'm about to see her in the woods." Bam. She catches her in the woods, right? Yo, how does this not make sense? Ooh, you know what? Maybe she catches them in the woods together and then she turns her into a frog. Right, hold on. Why are you not turning her into a frog? Maybe he turns her into a frog. You don't want to kiss him? That's crazy. Look at the title of this. Curse is lifted. So you're telling, yo, fellas, you're telling me that you won't kiss him as a frog, but you expect him to kiss you as a frog? Double standards at its finest. Curse is lifted. Maybe the witch says, you know what? She says, you know what? If you want this curse lifted, you're gonna have to do something strange for some change. Because listen, nobody else gonna kiss you. We seen it firsthand. Nobody else gonna kiss you. So she's like, hey, bro, if you want the curse lifted, what? That made sense to me. That would have been funny. What? Do they meet each other in the woods? Ooh. You know what? I take it back. Why would she go in the woods? Why would she just kiss a frog for no reason? He didn't even speak to her yet. My bad, ladies. My bad. I didn't know. But still, so this what happened. They have their little argument, right? And she says, you know what? Bam, I'm gonna turn you into a frog, right? She puts him back on the boat saying, hey, you better do something strange for some change, you feel me? If you want to get turned back to a prince, you ain't no prince no more. You a dang tadpole, you feel? You are just amphibian. You an amphibian. Sorry, yo. You're an amphibian, right? You're just a frog now. And he says, how many times do I have to tell you, old man? Turn me back, right? And then he says, you know what? I'm gonna find it elsewhere. So he goes into the woods to find someone that can help him turn back to a human. He finds a princess, right? Talks to the princess and says, madam, I am the prince from the far east of the woods. And she says, oh, really? But how am I supposed to believe you? Well, I can talk. Oh, that's all I need to know. Perfect!
A kiss and a curse.
A kiss and a curse. Bam. Meets him in the woods, try to seduce him back to the boat. She gets him in the boat. She gets mad that he ain't going that way. She, goes back in the laboratory and says, you know what? I'm about to drink this stuff. About to get my youth back. Bam. She jumps on the boat with dude. And you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me get the animation going on. Boom, they kiss. Dude was like, you know what, shawty, you kind of bad. I'm gonna keep it a buck. She's like, you feel me? And then, all you hear is tick tock. And then she hits him with a, I gotta go. He was like, well, hold on, we just got started. Where you going? He was like, I gotta go. What is it? I gotta go. And then he was like, hold on, babe. Let's 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And she's like, nah, I gotta go. 5 more minutes. I gotta go. 5 more minutes. And then boom, she gives him 5 more minutes and they just making out and whatnot. And then all you hear is tick tock tick. Then boom. You know what I'm saying? She turns back, but he doesn't know that because they just making out, right? And she tries to, back away slowly. And then he opens his eyes like, shawty. Good God. And then she's like, I try to tell you. And then he could be like, I mean, you can take the dentures out, right? So Tiny gets a kiss. Who's Tiny? Oh, heck no. Tiny, who you kissing? The witch? I'm hoping it's just the witch, right? Why you Tiny? Oh, that's a gnome. Oh, that's wait, are they called gnomes? Snow White was in the woods with gnomes, right? No, this ain't Romeo and Juliet. What is this? Snow White. The freak, what are they, bro? Gargoyles? Yo, what are they, bro? Smurfs? Dang. All right, anyway. Maybe Tiny's at the mirror, right? Ooh, so he wants a kiss from her? Dang, bro. Dang, I knew it. See, I knew they nasty. So boom, he goes to talk to Snow in the woods, right? And he's like, dang, what kind of voice should I give him?
Sweetheart, you know you've been here for 2 weeks now, and you gotta earn your keep somehow. So, yeah, what do you suppose we're baby,
My camera.
baby. Listen, it'll be over quick.
No. I'm leaving.
Baby,
No. No! Phew! She takes off in the woods, boys. He can't catch her for obvious reasons. And then he says, dang, bro, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. So she goes to the mirror. The mirror is like, nah, shawty, I'm only feeling on Snow. Man, she's Snow, and you definitely cold. I ain't messing with that. So bam, she goes in the woods, right? And she meets Snow. Bam, turns Snow into a frog. Bro, you got some issues, bro. Tiny, you got some issues, dude. He doesn't know she's told yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find a way for them to talk to each other.
Murder.
Chapter 6.
Rampage.
Butler's rampage. Okay, he's about to body somebody. Bring me that drink, boy. And then he says, you know what, shawty, I'm tired of your stuff. Get this gun. And said, you know what? Bring it here. Butler's rampage. How did, what? Does he need a reason to pick up the gun? Wow, he said, I'm like that. They've been doing this to me for years. Okay, so they in the ballroom with it. This man comes in.
damn.
He doesn't even need a reason. Does he do it to him too?
Damn.
My bad, Alfred. Maybe I was tripping on the first ones, but it's getting easier, y'all.
Someone gets arrested.
Someone gets arrested.
So let's say she picks up the gun. Oh, she don't. Oh, you too good for that. Let's put the butler right here because he obviously want to commit arson. He shoots the Duke, the wife, the Duchess, talks to the detective. And then the detective is like, you know what? I have been watching Cloudy Ruins, The Wolf Among Us series, so I think I'm on the case. And he's trying to figure out who did it. He's asking the butler. Maybe he doesn't want to ask the butler a question. Maybe he asked the ghost. No? All right, maybe he does want to ask the butler. Oh, he hides it. Excuse me, sir. Do you know what happened to the Duke?
No, sir. I was just giving out drinks in the corner. Then, you know, the missus just came up to me saying, "What happened to my husband?" And I was like, I don't know. I was just doing my job.
Okay, you better not be doing anything suspicious. Well, if you excuse me, I will be checking around. There's a murderer here, so I suggest you stay covered.
Oh, okay. I'll do my best.
Then boom, the detective goes in the room where the gun was and says,
So this is where the gun was. But where is it now?
something is suspicious.
Because if you look at the sun's trajectory, it was pointed 90 degrees to this one area. For the whole world, or should I say the king, the Duke of Nuts, should know exactly where he placed his belongings. If you don't know what I'm saying, this is going clearly over your head. You need to check the fortitude of your mindset, because if your mindset is not correct, you will not know exactly what I'm saying. Because listen, I was a scientist.
And let's go to bam. Simple. All right, my bad that I have to end it like this, but I gotta go. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more content like this or this in general, make sure to like, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, whether you're new or old, and keep your head up. You wouldn't be messing up like this if you just consistently just recorded, but that's my fault. I will get on that, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe, whether you're new or old, and keep your head up. To the next episode.